Awnings are one of the most commonly damaged items on RVs, so please use care when operating. Visually verify that you have enough space to extend the awning, close the side door, open the passenger door of the van, push and hold the rocker switch for the awning to the out position. Run it to full extension and release the switch. It's important to note that wind is the #1 enemy of RV awnings and that the awning should be fully retracted in windy conditions. Overloading with snow or rain or exposure to hail are also good ways to destroy an RV awning, so please be aware of the weather conditions. It's good practice to retract the awning if you're going to be away from the RV for long periods. You never know when the weather will change or the wind will pick up. Inside the awning end cap structure, you'll see the awning support legs. Slide one out completely until it stops. Rotate the leg until the orange lock release is facing inward. Then pull the lock release gently to release the lower section of the leg. Walk the lower section of the leg toward the body of the RV. Flip the foot of the leg up and rest it in the receiver. Lift the catch pin up. Press the foot flat inside the receiver. Then let the catch pin fall to capture the foot. With both legs supported in the receivers, put some tension on the legs by sliding the upper leg section out a little bit more and locking the release on the upper legs. It's also important to note that the exhaust pipe for the van engine is here, under the awning. The best practice is to retract the awning and close the side door if the engine is running. This switch controls the awning end light. To retract the awning, close the side door, unlock the releases, lift the catch pins, pull the feet out of the receivers, slide the lower legs into the upper legs, but leave about 5 inches of lower leg protruding. Lock the releases, gently rotate the legs so that the orange releases are facing the RV. Slide the legs into the end cap structure until the feet are ready to enter the channel. Fold the feet under the legs and lift them over the end of the channel. Push the legs to the center stop. Then push and hold the rocker switch to the in position and release when the awning is fully tucked away. The first thing you want to do is turn on the master power switch here inside the side door. This turns on the house battery, which powers most of the accessories in the RV. The house battery runs all of the basic low power accessories like interior lighting and water pump and can do so for about a day without having to run the generator or plug into a campsite. Note that the house battery does not power the microwave, air conditioner, or wall sockets, which require more power than a battery can provide. The main light switches for the interior are here, and there are additional light switches on the walls and fixtures throughout the RV. This knob offers variable brightness for the ceiling lights. This switch with lighted red indicator controls the light in the exterior service panel compartment where the fill and dump controls are. Since it's out of sight, the red light lets you know that it's on so you don't inadvertently drain the house battery. This switch controls interior ambient trim lighting. This is the door step switch. The door step should extend when you open the door and retract when you close it. The door response mechanism can be canceled by flipping this switch when the step is in the desired position. The step is wired to retract if the side door is closed and the ignition key is turned on to avoid driving off with the step locked in the extended position. The last switch here will turn on the exterior light if flipped up, or the stair entry lights if flipped down. Center position is off. The burner cover for the stove is made of glass. It should be treated with care and only lifted when the burners are in use. Subsequently, it should be placed in the down position while driving. You should never run the burners with the glass down, or use the glass as a cutting board, or strike the glass with any objects or place heavy items on the glass. To light the burners, turn a burner control knob to the spark icon and push it in and hold it. Then push the ignite button to light the burner immediately. Once you've selected a flame level, you can release the knob and adjust the level as needed. Lux supplies cutlery, serving sets, silverware, cookware, toaster, coffee pot, and filters. If you plan on doing any slicing or food prep, the sink cover flips over to serve as a cutting board. When not in use, please rotate the faucet and the open section of the cover. To operate the climate controls, the generator must be running or the RV must be plugged into a campsite. Start by pushing the mode button to wake the controller up. Use the arrow buttons to select auto, low, or high fan speed, and then use the mode button to cycle through to select heater or air conditioning. Push the arrow buttons up or down to select the desired temperature. Note that the display can be switched from Fahrenheit to Celsius by pushing the up and down arrows simultaneously. The refrigerator doors have locking latches that need to be pushed to release. Be sure that whenever you close the doors that they latch fully. This refrigerator can be set to run exclusively on 110, LP, or battery power depending on what source is available. Or it can automatically switch between available power sources by pushing the A button in the control panel. Our recommendation is to leave it on auto switching or shut it off with the power button if the refrigerator is not needed. The water pump is electric and can run off the house battery. To turn it on, push this button and you'll see the indicator light. The buttons below that will let you toggle through the LP, waste, and freshwater storage tanks, as well as the battery level. The water heater runs on LP or electric, and the knob illuminates when it's on. Be sure that the water pump is on, then select LP or electric function with the knob. It doesn't have a water storage tank that needs to be heated for a long time. You should turn it on about 15 minutes before you need hot water. The gray water tank in the Unity holds 37 gallons of used shower and sink water, which will last a few days before it needs to be emptied. The best practice is to check the levels in the control panel before showering. If the gray water tank does fill up, you'll see it start to rise in the shower first, and you'll absolutely need to dump it. Shut the water off and do not let it fill up to the edge of the shower pan. Otherwise it could overflow onto the floor and create a mess. The shower door latches by sliding it over and hooking the handle to the lip on the frame rail, like this. To convert the sliding seating area into a bed, flip open the foldable handles on the table support post. Push the table down until it reaches the stops, and this may require a bit of force that needs to be applied to the table surface evenly, or try to focus it in the center above the post. When the table is touching the stops, close the foldable handles to lock it in place. Slide the center seat bottom cushion out to the tabletop. Use the Velcro-backed wall-mounted cushions to fill the remaining gaps. Returning the bed to a seating area is a straightforward reversal of this process. The Unity has a slide-out that greatly increases interior space in the living area. Objects, including bottles, cans, or silverware that could get in the path of the slide, will send it off track or damage the motor and incur a hefty repair bill to correct and realign, so it's important that you visually verify a clear path before and during slide movement. Remove any persons that are occupying the slide area to reduce workload on the motor, then push the rocker switch to the up position. When the slide gets to the end of its travel, you'll hear the motor start to strain. Let off the switch immediately. If you're parked close to anything on the slide side of the Unity, be sure to visually check for clearance by looking out the window or have a helper give you instructions before and during the process to make sure that you will not be making contact with anything. Fans and roof vents can be switched on or opened to help with fresh airflow inside the RV. This is another item that is commonly broken during use. Please be sure to close the vents and windows when leaving or departing for a drive to avoid damaging them, collecting water, dirt, and debris inside the RV. To open the roof vent, slide the blind over. Press the handle lock to release the handle. Slide the handle toward the front of the RV until the handle latches in the open position. Then slide the screen over to keep dirt, debris, and insects from entering the living area. To close the roof vent, slide the screen open, gently pull the handle toward the back of the RV, then push the handle into the locked position until the lock engages under the handle. The head unit in the entertainment center is made by Jensen and can play radio stations, CDs, DVDs through the TV, and connect to your devices via USB, 3.5mm auxiliary jack, or Bluetooth. Most devices will connect directly to Bluetooth by turning the head unit on, pressing the source button until Bluetooth appears, and note that anytime you change source, you'll need to press Enter to lock in your selection. Then, press Enter again and hold to enter pairing mode. You'll see pairing and a countdown on the display. With your device in discovery mode, choose JWM9A when it appears in the list of available Bluetooth connections before the countdown zeroes out. We've also found that some devices need the Jensen J-Control app to make the connection. To use the app, go to the App Store, search for the model number on the face of the head unit, and select the corresponding app. So here I typed Jensen JWM9A into the search bar, and that pulls it up. I download and open the app, and it connects automatically. Some of our RVs have external speakers for outdoor enjoyment. You can select which speakers are playing with the Speakers buttons, which will turn individual sets of speakers on or off. When playing audio through the exterior speakers, please be considerate of your neighbors and campground quiet time rules. To play DVDs, insert a DVD into the head unit. It should automatically change to the DVD player source, but if it doesn't, you'll need to use the source button on the head unit to select HDMI ARC, or select it through the app. To use the TV for living area viewing, behind the TV you'll see a knob that locks the articulating arm in place. Pull that down. Then you can rotate the TV to face the living area. Be sure to fold and lock the articulating arm back in place when departing for a drive. To change the source on the TV from air channels to cable channels or to the HDMI input from the DVD player, you can use the remote that is located in one of the drawers in the RV or the joystick button on the back of the TV. Here, note that air channel reception may be weak or non-existent depending on your location, and cable channel reception would definitely require a cable hookup at your campsite. To rotate the front seats for additional living area seating, lift the front handle up and slide the seats all the way forward to expose the swivel lock handle. Pull the swivel lock handle and turn the seats to face the living area. Note that it's absolutely imperative that you return the front seats to the forward-facing orientation and lock them into place when departing for a drive. The driver's compartment has curtains that slide on plastic rails and connect to each other. They keep the interior cool and create privacy. The curtains are effective but not tolerant to rough handling, so please be gentle with these. The best way to move them is to hold on to the last clip while opening and closing. The curtains will magnetically connect to each other when closed. Please use the Velcro straps to stow them when you're done. Otherwise, they can get trapped in a closed door or become a visibility hazard while driving. The parking brake has an awkward fold-down feature that makes it seem like the parking brake is disengaged when it's actually engaged. To engage the parking brake, pull it up just like a normal car. But because the front seats can rotate, the handle should be pushed back down. To disengage the parking brake, you need to pull it back up and beyond the engaged position, then push and hold the button and release the handle fully. Lux supplies a Wi-Fi hotspot in every rental unit. We leave them in the glove box of the van. To connect your devices to the hotspot, just turn the hotspot on, go into the settings on your device, and choose Lux when it appears in the list of available networks. In the service panel, you'll find the LP switch, which can be left on throughout your stay, but it must be turned off while driving for best safety practices. The LP switch must be in the on position in order for LP to flow to the generator and appliances during your stay. If you're dry camping without being connected to a campsite, you'll need the onboard generator to provide power for air conditioning, microwave, TV, or any appliance or device that needs to be plugged into a wall outlet. To start the generator, simply verify that the LP switch is on, then push up to the start position and hold it for no longer than 5 seconds. It can take about 30 seconds for the generator to start producing electricity. Keep in mind that most campgrounds have generator hours, restrictions on when you can run the generator. Usually it's all day, but not early in the morning and not late at night. And that's just to create a pleasant environment for everyone. Also note that the tailpipe on this generator is here on the left-hand side of this vehicle. Please be considerate to your neighbors and enjoy the consideration that they give to you. When it's time to stop the generator, just push the generator control switch to the stop position momentarily. To refill the water storage tank with fresh water, connect the RV to a freshwater source and turn the water control valve to the fill position. Turn the water source on and leave it on until water begins to overflow from the back of the RV. Shut the water source off. Turn the water control valve back to the normal position. The RV will continue to drip water from the overflow, and some may drip out while driving for a short time until the excess is gone, and this is normal. Drain and roll up the freshwater hose, and thread the hose ends together to avoid having it leak in the storage compartment. The toilet has a water fill position on the initial push of the flush pedal. The best practice is to fill up some water before using the toilet, then flush by pressing all the way down and holding until all waste has left the bowl. We supply toilet paper that's safe for septic tanks. If you run out and need to purchase more paper, please be sure to purchase paper that is septic tank friendly. The Kirkland brand from Costco is safe, but nobody needs that many rolls of toilet paper. Also, please do not place anything other than septic safe toilet paper in the toilet. Place everything, including and especially baby wipes, into a trash bag, even if the item is labeled as flushable. We provide septic tank treatment packs under the sink in the bathroom. Typically it's not an issue, but if you find that the toilet or septic tank is odorous, fill the bowl with a few inches of water and drop a septic tank. To dump the wastewater tanks, remove the cap for the sewer connection on the RV. Remove the sewer hose from its storage tube in the side storage compartment and connect it to the sewer outlet on the RV. Note that this is a different hose than the one you use for connecting to a campsite, and it only has a connection on one end. Run the hose to the sewer receptacle at the dump station. Typically, this is a flap or a hole with a lid. You want to make sure that there is something on the end of the hose to keep it secured in the receptacle. Sewer water from the RV runs through this hose, so be sure to double check the engagement to avoid spills. Open the black water waste dump valve by pulling the handle outward and let it drain completely. Now you can open the gray water valve by pulling the handle outward and let it drain fully. When the gray water tank is completely empty, close the black and gray water valves by pushing the handles in fully. Note that most dump stations have non-potable water for rinsing out the sewer hose. Be sure that you do not connect the fresh water hose to this source or attempt to refill the freshwater tank with this water. Most of the time there will be signs to alert you of the water quality, but it's up to you to verify. Use the on-site water hose to thoroughly rinse out the sewer hose. Drain and stow the sewer hose in its tube in the storage compartment. Replace the cap for the sewer connection on the RV, and use the on-site water to rinse the apron area around the dump station sewer hole. And then double check to ensure that all storage doors are closed and latched before driving away. If you're camping at a spot with hookups, park the RV with the driver's side rear close to the campsite connection point. Turn off the generator. Connect the shore power cord from the storage compartment to the socket on the RV by opening the cover flap, inserting the female end of the cord, then slightly twisting clockwise to complete the engagement. Thread the locking ring on by hand until snug. Then plug the male end of the cord into the available power source. Verify that the circuit breakers at the source are on. Connect the freshwater hose from the storage compartment to the campsite water supply, and then to the water control panel. Verify that the water fill and control knob is in the appropriate position for normal or city water. Turn the water supply from the campsite on. Remove the cap from the sewer connection on the RV. Pull the sewer hose and any adapters out of the storage bin. In this case, we have a tube-type extension adapter with an elbow. Connect that to the sewer outlet on the RV. Then run the hose to the sewer receptacle in the campsite. Sewer water from the RV runs through this hose, so be sure to double-check engagement to avoid spilling. Open the black water valve first and let it drain fully if there's any content. Then open the gray water valve by pulling the handles outward. If the campsite offers cable TV hookups, you can use the supplied coax cable to make the connection here. When you're ready to disconnect and leave your campsite, close the black and gray water valves by pushing the handles in fully. Then turn the freshwater supply off at the source. Disconnect the fresh water hose from the water control panel. Disconnect the sewer hose from the RV. Turn the fresh water back on at the source and use that hose to thoroughly rinse the inside of the sewer hose and the adapters. Turn off the water source and disconnect the freshwater hose. Lift the RV end of the sewer hose up and walk it to the campsite connection point to drain as much water as possible. Disconnect the sewer hose from the campsite, roll it up, and place it and any adapters or tubes back into the storage compartment. Replace the cap for the sewer connection on the RV. Roll up the fresh water hose while draining as much water as you can out of it. Then thread the ends of the water hose together, and this keeps excess water in the hose from filling up the storage compartment. Turn the circuit breakers at the power source off. Unplug the power cord from the source. On the RV, completely loosen the locking ring, slightly twist the head of the cord counterclockwise, and disconnect the power cord. Then close the cover flap. Neatly roll the cord up and place it back in the storage compartment. Double check to ensure that all storage doors are closed and latched before driving away.
Please take note of the greater weight and height of the vehicle. You should drive slower through bends than with a car. The braking distance of a motorhome is longer than that of a car. A motorhome is more sensitive to crosswinds due to its height. It's important to remember that while overtaking on viaducts. Motorhomes are much higher than a car. Please consider the leeway under bridges. Branches, shrubs, and trees that protrude onto the road can all be an obstacle to you. Please pay attention to warning signs. A motorhome is wider than a car. Consider this before driving into small alleyways. Ledges can be dangerous, and awnings protrude over the vehicle wheelbase. Beware, the back end can swing out in turns. Please be aware.